What's up, everybody? All right, today we're going to be working on the Nissan Sentra. We have the IDAC springs going in, some KYB strut mounts we got to get put on. Sentra's outside, so first thing we have to do is take the palisade out and get the Sentra in. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get a cold start on the Sentra. All right, I'm gonna back this into the garage so we can start working on the front end suspension first, and then we'll hit the rear. Let's go ahead and get this into the garage, tucked away. Open these windows. Ooh. It's a hot one out here today. Alright, let's get to work. First thing we want to do is jack up the car, get the wheels off. I'm gonna jack up the car, get the wheels off, and start from there. Let's go. After we got the wheel off, we're going to spray our bolts 1, 2, and 3 with some lubricant just to spray with lubricant. Let that soak for a minute. Alright, as you can see, I sprayed 1, 2 bolts and 3 bolts. Those are the ones that need to come off so we can get the strut mount. What we're gonna do is remove this here. This is your brake there, and we're gonna remove this one too right here. I don't know if I could do it by hand, but probably not. Let's get a screwdriver, remove this one, move that off, because the strut is gonna actually come out. So bring that down and let's get something to remove this here. Alright, so now we're gonna loosen these up here. Should come off pretty easy. That one's loose. Got a breaker bar. Okay, so on this bolt, I didn't have a big enough opening wrench to put on the backside. It's probably a 19 or 20. I just put pliers on the backside and see how to loosen it up. Do now, we're gonna go ahead and remove these. Take that off, that to the side, and we're gonna get this one off. Again, trusty old pliers. It's a 21, but I don't have two 21s right now, so I'm just gonna put pliers to it. See if you could wiggle them. Can't wiggle them, so I'm try to bang them out. Let's get this out the rest of the way. Okay, so now we got the bottom unscrewed. We're gonna take our mounts from up top, and as you can see, you could either take this off completely to get access it from up top, which that's what I'm probably gonna do, or you can go right through this little thing here, and these are just a 13 millimeter. I'm going to remove this whole cowl just to get easier access. It's already really loose, so it makes it so much easier. Side at a time. Alright, so 13 is here. Bottom should come out. As you can see, it's moving already. Loose. Pull that to the side. Okay. Now we got the strut mount. I mean the whole strut out. We got the whole strut out. Okay, we got the new strut mount. We got the coil clamps. And we got our new coils there. So what we need to do now is tighten this on so we can compress the coil spring. Get the mount out. Put the new mount in and reassemble. We're going to compress the spring here. So we're going to mount on one side, pull these pins, lock them in, and we're going to tighten this up. You shouldn't be using a power tool to do it, but just gonna bring it down a little bit just because it's so high. Right when it starts to get tight, lock it in. We're gonna put the other one on the direct opposite side of that one. So let's go ahead and Again, you gotta be very careful with these. Make sure they are directly opposite of each other. Alright, they're on there tight. Now we're gonna compress the spring. So what we want to do is do this by hand, because I do not want to get my ass kicked by this thing. Okay, so on this here, I did not have the proper tools, unfortunately. So I'm just using a vice grip and a torque screw that fit the top there, and I'm unloosening it this way because I don't have an open end 19 which would have fit there. So I had to rig it up to be able to work with the tools that I have. So I also sprayed it with some plaster there to be able to get it loose. There it goes, it came loose. The nut is out. I'm going to set that to the side. Be very careful here. Do not want, okay. Alright, I unscrewed the mount, took it off. Now we're gonna got the springs compressed, so we need to take those off and put the new ones on. As you can see here on the bottom, there is a little indentation where the bottom of the new spring goes. So that should line up pretty simple. Let's take this out. Maybe you can see it better. Yep, right here. There's an indentation right there. Get some of that dirt out. Okay. So there's an indentation there where the new spring is going to go. So let's get the new spring. These are the new springs. It came a little beat up. The box came a little beat up, but try them out. These are our new springs. So we got front and rear. Two front, two rear. Let's go ahead and mount these in here. These go like so. See the right there, they fall right in perfect. So now we need to compress this so we can get the new mount on top. So let's get the old springs out of here. Alright, we're going to decompress these springs, get this out of here so we can put the new springs in. Let's do this. Unlock them. Old spring, new spring. So the height difference is not much. The new one is just a little bit higher than the old one, but not much. So we need to compress the new ones so we can get them on. So let's compress these now. Go them this way. Lock them in. Tighten it up just a little bit. We're gonna have to compress these a lot because we need to be able to put the mount in. Compress these. There we go. I want to try to get it directly across from the other. So we're going to put, there's a little indentation right there where the bottom of the spring is going to go in. See if we got it far enough, or do we need to come down more? Looks like we're gonna have to come down just a bit more just so it clears here. So let's do that now. Back into place. Looks like it'll clear. Alright. Let's get our new strut mount. And since this is the passenger side, it has a little RH on here. Make sure you get that one in there. And you can see our old one has the same thing, RH. Got a 19. We're going to put it on top here, hold it in place, tighten this bad boy down. Staying all on. Let me show you what I'm doing here. Basically just torquing this down. So just hold it here. And that's it. It's all the way down. Ain't going no more. So Now we can take off our thing here. We're going to remove the spring, and the spring should come out. Okay, we got a 22. Now because the sleeve won't fit over, so we're going to have to do it this way. We got our strut back on. Got our strut all mounted up. Spring mounted. Strut mount in there good. Our coil spring is in the groove here. So that's good. Now we just have to mount it back up to the car. Alright, so now we got our strut back in. Put our sway bar link back in. I'm going to go ahead and put the bolts back in here just so it can rest easy, and then line that up top there and tighten everything back on. Now, see if that lines up.